Okay everybody, I'm getting ready to do a hunt in this local little park here. There's some swing sets, and there's some baby swing sets there, and there's some bigger swing sets there. And those are sanded areas, so I love to go in areas where there's swings and sand. That's always great. And here's what I use here. I have a water pouch that I use for the beach. I like it so much I bought an extra one that I use for the dry land as well in the parks. And it comes with a belt attached to it. So this is great, and I use this. I have some gloves in here that I use when I go out hunting in parks and grass areas. So I have the gloves that I keep in one part of the water pouch, and then in the other part I put my fines and my keys maybe. And then I have a junk thing here. This is for the junk, and I have a holder for my pinpointer, but that's an extra pinpointer. Actually, just have that on the belt, but I use my pinpointer here, and I also have this thing to dig here, this digging tool. So the digging tool and the pinpointer goes in there, and I could have just used that on the belt, but I like the pouch, the junk thing, and this might seem like a lot to carry, but it's really not. It goes great with the belt, and it just goes wonderful. So I'm gonna hit this park over here now, see what I could find, if anything. If I find anything or anything's interesting, I'll record it. But I just wanted to show everybody just how simple I keep it when I go out in local parks. Here's a closer look at the swing area here. As you can see, there's sand on the ground, so I love a swing area where there's sand, and there's another swing area over there near sand, which I'm going to check out. So this is a great park. There's another big area there with a lot of sand. And I come here as much as I can whenever there's a sand area, because most parks now have the little chips, and it's not as easy to lose something in the chips. So I like to hit the sanded area. I have the AT Pro today, so I'm going to start checking it out. One of the things I do when I'm looking into sanded areas is, especially in parks, I don't go down deep. I just go down about 2 inches, maybe 3 inches most, just looking for some drops. I find most deep things here are usually something that's part of the post to the grounds or pipes or something. But it's the fresh finds I'm looking for. Maybe somebody dropped something. Another thing is I pretty much dig everything that's a solid number in these areas. That's a number that's not jumping around, especially in the foil area, because I often find that to be a small ring or something. So I'll keep you posted. Another tip to keep in mind here, I'm using the AT Pro, but the sensitivity, if you lower the sensitivity, it's not going to go as deep. Now normally when you're looking in an old area, you want it to go deep, but when you're in parks and you're just looking for recent finds, if you put the sensitivity lower, it's not going to beep on everything. It's just going to beep things that are a couple inches down, and that I find it might help if it's really a trashy area, or if there's a lot of stuff. Just finding out the target, especially if you don't have as much time. That really helps. That's a good tip. And here we are at the same park, and one thing people often don't do, you see this big metal post that's holding the swings up. That's gonna get a reaction off the metal detector, and since that gets a reaction off the metal detector, it can easily mask some signals. So you got to be careful with that. Another thing is the swing here. If you go under the swing, the chains from the swing is going to get a reading on a metal detector. So when I'm looking near the swings, I like to get behind the swing and actually push the swing out of the way, almost sitting on the swing, and that lets me get the area under the swing where most things are often dropped. Usually spare change, but perhaps sometimes something else. Another helpful tip here is when you find small trash like this small plastic, this small foil here, you want to pick it up and throw it out, because the next time you come back, you don't want to have to mess with those. So the cleaner you keep it, the better your chances are of finding something next time. Another thing is, even though the swing area is the hot area to look at, this whole little area here is all sand, and I have found a ring away from the swings, but still in the sand. So that's another area we want to check. We want to check the whole sand area. Alright, that was the adult area. I didn't find anything, and there were some kids there now. But I'm gonna go to the kiddie area now, and I find most things are lost around the kiddie areas because young mothers are pushing their little kids there versus teenagers on the bigger swing. So I'm gonna check this area here. Again, this is a good park because it's 3 different areas and they're all sandboxes opposed to the chip. Alright, we didn't find anything that are swings here today, but you never know. And I want to show you, see the difference between the sandbox and there's a little play area over there and it has a rubber ground. Now, there's a chance something could fall between those rubber grounds where there is sand, but the chances are much better than the sandbox, obviously, than over there to find something. And they just put this new ride in here, which actually, it turns. So the kid sits on here and the parent turns them. And there's a good chance something could fall off the parent's hand or fall out of maybe teenagers playing there. So I'm going to check around this area. Then we'll hit the area there. So you're not always going to find something, but if you check often enough, you will find something eventually in these areas that's valuable. And when I first started, somebody told me they do pretty good in playgrounds, but you got to go to the playgrounds. So that's what we're doing here. And we're just checking. See, I got a signal here. It appears okay, so I'll dig it up, and if it's anything, I'll show you guys. Just to give you guys a sample, I'm not passing up anything in these sand lots, because you never know if it's a solid signal, only going maybe 2 or 3 numbers. I'm going to dig it, and here, look how small I dug just this piece, and I'm finding a piece of foil that it is small, so you just never know. So if it's not a big area and you have time, dig it all.